everyone. Welcome to our live stream. I'm Robin.
I'm Michael.
And this is our What the Flock channel. We're just going to give everyone a little bit to see if anyone else decides to join us. And then we just want to tell you a little bit about ourselves and a little bit about why we decided to start a YouTube channel.
Our Okie homestead, you have opened Robin up to a whole new world of people.
Yes.
She loves it.
Yep. Thank you so much for that.
Hi, Mom. Yeah, she's watching all their videos and all their live streams and everything else. Oh, yeah. We have a whole gaming room. You can't see it, but there's a whole room in our house dedicated to games and
Homesteader / nerd.
Yeah. We had some YouTube stuff going with video games. It didn't go so well, so
my chickens are much more popular. Plus, these are pretty comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. MT Homestead has been really, really great. You've been really great. And Boots and Bounty, Rich Cat Ranch, they were really, really sweet. And she offered to help show me. I'm really new to all this, so the editing and the chats and all the different things, she's...
Yeah, our little gaming setup's actually pretty cool. We like to game on our free time. Well,
The kids upstairs sound like a herd of elephants.
hopefully that's not getting picked up too much there. That's the downfall for having this room on the bottom floor of the house. What do you want to stuck your...
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know. Our videos will start to get better as I learn the software and all the programs, and that's really where he comes in. Honestly, he's more behind the scenes, and I do all the farm work.
Belt Loop 29.
Okay, I will look them up when I get off of here.
We can copy that right now. Oop, maybe the whole thing though.
Yeah, save that. But yeah, so basically, both Mike and I are from Southern California, the Los Angeles area. We grew up, very much in a urban city type atmosphere, and my mom moved to Georgia when I was around 8 years old, and I've been back and forth my whole life, but as I've gotten older, the country has pulled me more into it. I'd rather have property and animals and vegetables than nosy neighbors and noise and problems. And so when we moved out here, we bought this house just last year, and we finally had our own property that's ours to do what we wanted. And I had a friend get some chickens, and I kind of noticed on Facebook, and I was like, well, that seems interesting. I wonder what all goes into that. And I looked it up, and I did like a ton of research, and I decided to get some chicks. So I got 4 chicks, and I loved them. And 4 days later, I decided I needed more. So I got 4 more. And as they started to get older, someone asked me to take in 5 more. So now I've got 13 chickens, 2 roosters, 11 hens, or some pullets. But so while the chicks were still babies, we went and bought a prefab coop and set it up where we thought we were going to put it. And we had our first rainfall, and I decided I didn't like it. I decided that it wasn't safe enough, it wasn't dry enough, and that the wood from the prefab coop was just going to deteriorate in the sun and rain. And so we moved it into a room that he had picked for his little barbecue area out back. Yep. And so chicken math is definitely already started, and we moved the prefab coop into the room. So if you see my videos, you'll notice that I have a little prefab coop in what turned out to be just a giant coop. And I set all that up, bought a new chicken run, dug the hardware cloth down. I put bricks around, or cinder blocks around it and planted flowers in it, which the chickens eat most of, but that's why I put them there. And 4 days ago we got our first egg, and today we ate our first eggs, so that was pretty exciting, and we'll post a video of that as well. We just got to put it all together. Oh, he has plenty of other space. but yeah, so once we decided to do that, we've basically lived through the whole Mayan end of the world. We've lived through Y2K, the pandemic, and
Northridge earthquake.
Yep, the Northridge earthquake, the blizzard of '93. We're out here in Georgia. So after all of that, I just kind of wanted to be more self-sustaining, and I started trying to grow things. And yesterday, I lost my squash plant. Stupid vine borers got it. And my tomatoes are meh right now, but for the first part of the season, my Bush Goliath was really giving us a lot of tomatoes, but my Better Boys and Centennials, not so much. And then my cucumbers, I have not got an edible cucumber yet. I'm trying. But my banana peppers and my jalapenos are just kicking butt. And I have giant macaroni peppers that are doing really good. For the first part of the season, my strawberries did really good. But then they kind of fizzled out also. But my dad could grow anything, and he lived in a cement backyard in California, but he grew whatever he wanted: corn, broccoli, strawberries. We had a lemon tree, all kinds of peppers because he liked spicy stuff. But I decided to try it, and it's been trial and error so far, but I'm learning as I go, trying tricks and tips as I go. And that's part of the chicken thing too. I just decided, if we could get our own eggs, then that's something we could sustain off of. In a pinch, I could eat one of them if I absolutely had to.
Tasty.
Yes, they do need to be longer. My shorts seem to do better, so I kind of was going off what people were watching there for a minute, but I'm still learning, and I wanted the longer ones to be after I learn a little bit more how to put them together. And I need I can't do them by myself. I've learned, because I'm not good with the camera.
Her and I were talking earlier today actually about adding some production value to the videos. I have some really expensive cameras from when I used to do some videography stuff in California.
Stringer.
I used to string for a news station and go do action news. So I'm going to try to take some of that stuff I learned and put it into our videos. It's just the time. I work full time, so. But we'll get there. We're just trying to get the ideas and get some stuff going on. I've been watching him. I've been subscribed to him for like 2 years. We actually, I think I got about 4 YouTube channels, and Robin's got 2. We've been watching him for a while, and this has been the channel that I think we get the most enjoyment out of.
Yes, for me.
Yeah, there'll be some production value stuff going into it. As you saw, our little intro, I did our little intro with the sound and all the little animations and the little flashing chicken in the background. If you didn't catch that one, go back and watch one of our videos with the intro. There's actually a streaker chicken in the back of that video.
Yeah, I have a sense of humor, and I definitely like to have fun with it. So, all my chickens have names. Each and every one of them, all 13 have names, and
Yeah, I started back YouTube. I started YouTube in about 2006, 2005, before YouTube was really what it is today, before it's Google owned. And I actually was doing decent. And I got some copyright stuff going on, and they shut me down. And then Google bought it, and it became this huge entity, what it is today.
I never really did YouTube before. I don't know. I get nervous, I think, on the camera. I don't like hearing myself on videos. But that's why really most of my videos are of my animals.
Yes, it did.
But yeah, a lot of it, for me, a lot of what made me want to start this channel was just learning how to be more self-sustaining. I do eventually want to get solar power. I do eventually want more property. Right now we live very much near the city and in the city, and we have only about an acre. But I do want to look into more property with water on it, and I want to get goats and maybe some milk cows. And I'm not big on meat animals because I know I can't process them and butcher them myself. Like, once I start feeding them and raise them, like, that's it. They're my babies. I'm not a vegetarian. I eat them. I'm just very, very thankful to have the people that do the dirty work for me, because I just can't. I can't do it. Like, if one of my chickens has to be cold, he has to be the bad guy. I can't do it. I just can't.
Yeah, she's got quite a few different styles of chickens out there.
I did my research.
Vern is a pretty bird. He's our big old gray rooster.
He is a lavender Orpington. And Shirley was my one shot at blue or green eggs. And Shirley turned out to be a boy. So I'm going to have all brown eggs, it looks like. Actually, some of my new girls, there's one of them that I named Cinnamon. And I don't know what kind of chicken she is. I've looked and looked and looked. I just don't really know. Yeah, if I absolutely had to, like, I'm definitely going to feed my kids and my husband and myself, so, but...
And the loudmouth out there is going first.
Poor Shirley. Well, sure, like, out of the two roosters, Shirley's the only loud one, and he's the only one I can pick up. He doesn't seem to really like it, but I can pick him up and pet him. Now, Vern, he's very evasive. Like, it's amazing how much he can run around and I can't actually catch him. And then I have a French black copper Moran hen named Oreo. Hey, Rich Cat Ranch, thanks for joining. And Oreo's very antisocial. She makes, like, very distressed sounds when you come in the coop, and she runs around, and then, like, after free range time and I'm putting them all away, it's always the same. Every other chicken goes in, and then Oreo's the last to go in. She waits and then dodges in at the, like, last minute. 9-acre family farm. Okay.
Look at you. You know all these people.
Yeah. I can use all the tips because, like I said, my garden this year, like, for a while it was doing really good, but it's definitely fizzling out, and I'm in the process of researching what kind of fall garden I can have for this area. But again, I'm completely new to all that, and my dad, who was my inspiration for growing, he, passed away several years ago, but he was actually missing a thumb on one of his hands, and he used to always say he had such a green thumb that it was so green it fell off. And, when I was a little kid, that cracked me up. But he definitely was a huge help. And my mom has a friend named Janelle. She's in her 70s, so she doesn't garden as much as she used to, but she's amazing, and she's also teaching me a little bit about canning and things like that. But yeah, so we started out as city kids, moved to the country, and then after living through all these supposed end of the worlds and then COVID, I decided I wanted to grow my own food as much as possible and have my chickens. Oh, thank you so much, Rich Cat Ranch. That's very sweet. I was super nervous. Like, as we got closer and closer to coming on, I was getting really nervous, but Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. Definitely seeing a lot of these communities are kind of blended just from listening to a lot of the live streams that Robin's been watching.
Yeah.
A lot of them are all kind of intermingled with each other.
Yeah. And so one of the things I've been looking at too, since now that we have all these eggs, or we're going to have all these eggs, we've got 7 so far in the past 4 days, but I want to look at making powdered eggs. I'm not really huge on the idea of powdered eggs, but I was thinking in a natural disaster or in a situation where that may be all I have, they're going to sound really good then. I would also like to look into maybe water glassing, but that method scares me a little. I don't know.
14 chickens for lavender. Oh, I think you missed something, Mom. We have a lavender Orpington. He's our gray rooster that you might see in our videos. His name is Vern, and yeah, she's got 13 now.
Yeah, I definitely need to try to record more. I need someone.
Yes, Kit Kat. Rich Cat. Kit Kat. Rich Cat. I'm hungry.
But we do need to start recording more. A lot of times I do a lot, since he works full time, I do a lot of stuff by myself, and then it's hard for me to work the camera and do all the farm work too. So I'm trying, and my teenage daughter always manages to get the worst angles. But I'm like, so I stopped asking her to help, and they're all about to go back to school tomorrow.
Yeah, we're definitely trying. There's been a few things we missed recording just because the camera hasn't been out or stuff like that. Just a little insight. We're trying to get a setup in the coop, in the ferret room, and actually on the axolotls. That we'll be able to, when we do our live streams, we'll be able to switch in between and actually take a peek out at the different animals and stuff that we do videos on also. So there'll be the possibility of live streaming our axolotls and ferrets and chickens and stuff like that.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, he was Navy EOD, so.
Oh, Big Mike's at Empty Homestead.
Yeah, Empty Homestead, yep.
I was trying to wear another shirt, and she wouldn't let me wear it.
Yeah, I know. My channel's for all ages, all different groups, so I don't want anything that might upset anyone, even if it's funny to some.
It was a comical shirt. But
it was a funny shirt.
She said
but
no.
You never know if they're who's watching, little kids, or, definitely not going to upset anyone.
Yeah, we do need 3 likes. We had 4 viewers there for a little bit. That's not bad for a first time stream going out. I appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not talking to myself. I was so worried I was going to be sitting here talking to myself. I was like, but yeah. So we're going to learn a little bit about water glassing and powdered eggs, and definitely doing some gardening. Like I said, for those that weren't here earlier, I lost my squash plant to some vine borers, and then I fed them to the chickens. So I figured if they're going to kill my plant, my chickens get to eat them. Oh, this is Mike.
Yeah. My name's Michael. Hey, I appreciate you sharing that stream out to the community.
Yes, absolutely.
Tab. That's awesome. Do you have a Discord or something set up? Pretend conversation.
That would definitely make it more interesting.
I think our son would do great at that.
But my chickens are super spoiled. There's only 2 that really won't let me pick them up, and that's Oreo and Vern. So they just kind of are really evasive. But Pearl, she's the most social. She has been since she was a baby. She will fly right up to me and just fly in my lap. One day, I think he was out in the coop with me. I bent over to do some cleaning, and she flew up on my back and wouldn't get off my back.
Hi. Yeah, there's a video of our on our YouTube called Hello Pearl or Hello Pearl. when she was like this big, tiny little thing. I was trying to take a video for YouTube, and she hopped up on my arm and wanted to get off of me.
Yeah, she's a funny little girl.
Okay. All right, you have them on your Facebook?
No, I'll look.
Yeah, find them on your Facebook. And okay. Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm definitely trying to. I just met a girl out here that has like a much larger homestead. She's got like chickens, cows, goats, all kinds of stuff, and I'm trying to get her to let me come and just kind of volunteer some farm work so that I can learn a lot more before I expand. I'm definitely big on researching before I jump into things.
Yeah, Robin definitely wants to have egg chickens that lay all multicolored. Just 13 right now is plenty.
Yeah, right now until I can get a bigger run and everything. And build roosting bars that I didn't have to build by myself. So mine is a little bit janky, but I built it all by myself.
So our chickens really aren't that hard to catch. When they were little, they were kind of a pain in the butt. But
well, they mostly follow me around now. But the 5 new girls are kind of their own flock, and that's Cinnamon, Diamond, Portia, Mercedes, and Candy. Those are the 5 new girls. And then they all pretty much just follow me. But the new girls, they don't really trust anybody. And those are the ones that really, I was out there chasing them all over the place, trying to get them put up the other day. But for the most part, if I wait until a couple hours before dark before I let them have their free range time. And then it's usually like, oh, okay, it's nighttime. Mom's bringing in the food again. And they all run right in.
Yeah, I think we'd have more animals if we had more area too. I really want goats. I want a couple goats. For no purpose other than having a goat.
Well, we can make goat milk and goat cheese and all kinds of stuff with goats, as well as use them just for brush control. But
I want to get the signs on our gates that say "Warning: Attack Goat."
I still want to go to school and get some certifications for several different types of animals, both livestock, pets, and exotic. That way, one day I can get some government grants and own my own animal rescue and just really...
There's another person.
Yay!
What the flock is going on here?
Hey, Backlash Fisherman, thanks for joining.
Yeah, I agree. If we have food, we had great success. We got 7 eggs. We ate them this morning. Robin wasn't nervous at first until she goes ready to crack them open, and then was like...
I kind of didn't want to break them. I know that sounds stupid, but I didn't want to break my eggs.
But they were good. You know what? They were $1,500 eggs, so we enjoyed them.
They were very good eggs. They were a little rich. They were small eggs. They were actually a lot harder to break than I kind of thought. They were really tough. Am I the only one whose chickens act offended when you go to collect the eggs? I feel like I come in there and they all get really upset all of a sudden.
Cheesy grits. I like cheese and grits.
Mm.
People out here were like, "You're from the West Coast and you like grits?"
Shrimp and grits. That's a big dish out here. Shrimp and grits.
I learned a lot of Southern stuff when I was in Virginia.
Corn nuggets. I gave him his first corn nuggets.
Corn nuggets.
He loves corn nuggets. I've never had a duck egg. I've heard they're super rich, and I heard a lot of people that can't have chicken eggs will eat duck eggs, and I've heard they're great for baking.
Healthy shells. What is that? For the chickens?
Yeah, for the hard eggs. They have good calcium.
Oh. I was going to say chicken head, but I'm not a chicken person.
My friend had a pet goose, and it was very sweet to her, but it was mean. It was mean to me. His name was Marvelon.
I like geese. They're pretty, but they're really mean. Homemade grits.
Yeah.
What are grits? I don't even know what grits are.
It's a grain, but out here we have a place called Kettner's Mill, and you can go there and you can buy white or yellow grits, as well as cornmeal, freshly ground, right there.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever actually let it process in my brain of what a grit was.
That's the city boy in him. I've had a lot more country experience than Mike, but like I think out here was the first time you had goulash.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine a goose egg would be really hard to crack. Seemed like it'd be a big egg too, since it's such a big bird.
I found a blue heron egg in the Tennessee River while we were canoeing one time, and it was big like an ostrich egg.
So you have attack geese.
Yeah, that's how the peacocks can be too. They definitely set off at a really loud noise. I'm starting to learn all the weird noises my chickens make, because Shirley, my rooster, sometimes he makes his little flirting call to the girls, and at first I didn't know what he was doing, and then he crows for no reason, any reason, morning, noon, and night. Yeah.
Yeah, I get up kind of early in the morning when it's still dark out sometimes, and I hear him out there just crowing his head off.
Yeah, he's something else. He's definitely something else. I thought about trying to grow corn, and I'm glad I didn't this year, because I'm in a lot of gardening groups on Facebook and stuff, and it looks like a lot of people's corn didn't do good this year, especially in my area. So, and I guess that corn smut, or hootaluchi, or I'm not sure how you say it, is a delicacy, and a lot of people grew it, but I don't know if I want to try it or not.
Do your ducks and geese just kind of stay with you year round, or is that something they clipped? Like what keeps them there? They just happy? Or
I don't think they. I'm pretty sure she said she doesn't clip hers.
Because I want a duck. I think ducks are awesome.
I love ducks, but I've been told you have to be careful with having ducks around chickens, especially if you have
That's a good
male ducks with female chickens. It could be a problem. Oh, wow. I'm blessed that I've had the best neighbors I've ever had, which I'm really glad, because we bought this house, so we're kind of stuck with these neighbors. But I spoke to the neighbors behind us, and one of them has chickens, and he has a bunch of roosters at his house, so I'm not supposed to have roosters here, but until somebody complains, I'm not getting rid of them, because I love them, and I've had them since they were like tiny babies.
Person in his family had attacked Tom turkey until it attacked one of the kids. Yep.
I'm afraid of turkeys, I'm not gonna lie. I used to be afraid of chickens when I was a kid. I got chased by a half-dead chicken into my mom's friend's house, and then it followed me in the house, and they were trying to push it out with a broom, and it was literally like bleeding and chasing me, and I was terrified. Absolutely. And that happened twice, 2 different occasions. So after that, I kind of had a bad, that's what I was told, is never mix the ducks and chickens, because it could be a very, very bad ending. And so that was a big thing, is with our limited property, I didn't have anywhere to put a duck. Yeah, that's what I was told in my poultry group.
Wow.
Yep.
They'll pluck the eyes out of them.
Yep. Well, I definitely know that, because Pearl tried to pluck my eyeball out one day. Which I know she didn't do it to be mean, but they're very curious. Yeah, and she just was sitting up on my shoulder, and I saw her look at me, and then she pow right in the eye. So definitely got to be careful. They like shiny things. But yeah, that was the whole reason when I bought my chickens, I didn't buy baby ducks too, because they had them there, and it was really hard to turn them down. But I just didn't have the money to build a whole setup for my chickens and then build an entire separate setup for the ducks. So, because I also have dogs and they need yard too. So I have to divide up the space. My chickens free range when my dogs are in the house. And oh wow, that's sad. Yeah, I have a mole on my head that one of my chickens also thought was a bug and tried to eat, and that was not pleasant. But Pearl, she's just really curious. I know when she pecks me, she doesn't mean any harm. She's honestly my baby. That's my favorite chicken. She'll follow me back and forth, and she's just the easiest one to get to come to me. I don't know if she's laying yet because I got my 4 Isa Browns on March 27th, and then I got a Smoky Pearl, an Easter Egger, the Lavender Orpington, and the French Black Copper Moran, which was sold to me as a Black Orpington, but that's not what it is. All 4 of them were bought 4 days later, so they're very close in age, but I know it's at least 1 or 2 of the brown ones that are giving me eggs right now because I've caught one in the nesting box laying. So I know they're laying, and they're known for laying kind of early too. But I should have some super dark eggs from the French Black Copper Moran, and I'm not really sure what color Pearl. I mean, Pearl I think is just another brown egg layer, but. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she got me good. I was bleeding.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was running down.
I was like, oh my gosh, what a brat.
I laughed at first until I saw that she was actually hurt, and then I was like, oh.
It was still kind of funny, but I was like, man. They're about 19 to 20 weeks old now. I'm not sure how old the 5 pullets that I took in from someone are. They told me they got them in April, so like right around Easter, I guess. But they're definitely a substantial bit smaller than mine. 2 of them are gold lace Wyandottes, and 1 is an Isa Brown. And then the other one might be a Buff Orpington or a Golden Comet. I'm not sure. She's a real gold, light brown one. And then the other one's like a red and white speckly color. That's cinnamon. And I just really can't figure out what breed she is. I've looked and looked and looked. I mean, she kind of looks like a speckled Sussex, but not. So I'm really having a hard time. She could be a barnyard mix for all I know. But it was exciting today. We ate, we did a couple video clips, so we're going to put them together and make a video. But we took our 7 eggs we've collected over the past 4 days. They were kind of small. And we decided to wait till we had enough to feed the family. And then we had breakfast with them today. And they were really good. The only person that didn't like them was my son. And I think, honestly, he's just mad because it wasn't fried eggs. If it doesn't have a yolk, he doesn't want it. But this is Bonnie. She's one of our little babies here.
She's part of the flock.
Yeah. My fear. She needs a bath. This one's... Oh.
Ooh. Oh, I bet.
Yeah, they definitely, even the ducks and chickens get real mean when they have babies. I was at my friend's nanny's house, and she had what she calls yard chickens, and she has a few chickens that wander around, and I wanted to pet one of the babies, and my friend asked, she was like, that mama's gonna get you, and she was right.
What's that?
Yep, we have 2 ferrets, we have 2 axolotls, and we have 2 dogs, which are Jax and Sookie, and then we have our axolotls are Axel and Rose. Oh, I bet they love that. I bet they love that. And then we also have our cat. Her name is Tituba. And, am I leaving anyone out? Oh, the rats.
And the rat.
Yeah, the rats, peanut butter and chocolate. My daughter has 2 rats, and then she also has a leopard gecko named Mushu. So.
Yeah, this is Bonnie. We have Clyde in there. We got the Bonnie and Clyde duo.
Yeah, I almost got a possum. I almost took in a possum because you can get a permit where I live and have a possum. And I knew someone that had 3 babies that they needed homes for. And it took every fiber of my being to say that I have enough going on right now and that, Yes, I don't want a tarantula so much. I am fascinated by them, but I'm not a spider person. However, I did find a wild tarantula when we lived in Arizona, and that was cool to see them out in the wild.
He was like green
that.
and
It
like
was
this
really
weird,
pretty.
like pearlescent kind of, very interesting.
Yeah, that one was really cool. But our my brother, he had a bunch of snakes. And my grandmother was raised. She always had snakes. She went straight for the remote.
Did she? Here,
Our ferrets are really bad about going after things that are rubber.
Mulder and Scully. Yes.
Oh, I love
Freaking
that.
X-Files, man.
Oh, my friend Rita would love that. My friend Rita is a huge X-Files fan. Like, she has the box set.
All right, crazy girl.
But yeah, we have Jackson Sookie for our dogs, and then peanut butter and chocolate for our rats, and that's literally because of the color of them. One's like a dark chocolate brown, and the other is a like a real light peanut butter brown. We used to have 2 more cookies and cream, but they had to go. I donated them to a friend of mine who breeds rats because my daughter wasn't taking care of all 4 rats properly, so I told her she could have 2. But I'm a big on, if I'm gonna have animals, I want them to be taken care of properly.
Yep.
I love them so much that I'd have 1,000,000 if I could.
And that's Clyde.
That's my baby. He's
That's
my favorite.
the other duo to Bonnie and Clyde.
This is my little troublemaker right here.
My first ducks were wines.
That's cute. That's cute.
Stretch
I went off a lot of things with my chickens. Like, my main, out of the Isa Browns, there's one that was kind of bossy, and that one's Henrietta. It just seemed fitting. And Lucy and Ethel are 2 of the Isa Browns. And then Nugget. And then we have Pearl, which she was a smoky pearl. So, oh yeah, he's my favorite.
He's a pretty boy.
He's my little stinky furry thief.
These are little.
And then ironically, the 2 roosters were Laverne and Shirley. Shirley, I kept his name for 2 reasons. For one, I felt like since he's so loud, like he gets to keep the girl name. And also because of the movie Airplane. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley. So I always thought that was kind of funny. And then Vern, I just changed Laverne to Vern. But it's kind of funny that Laverne and Shirley ended up being the roosters. Aww.
I like that. Yeah, we try to theme our names.
I kind of go off what seems fitting. Like for the leopard gecko, we named her Mushu after the dragon from Mulan. I thought that was cute. And then Titchybuzz from the Salem Witch Trials, if anyone's familiar with reading about that. Remember that from school. Titchybuzz she was one of the witches. And I just named her that because she's a black cat, so, she had to have a witchy name. Plus, we got her in October. Yeah, we got her in October, and she was a black kitten, 3 weeks old. I fed her kitten formula and raised her. She was...
she told me not to get it.
I did, because I was afraid my dogs were going to eat it. They were never cat-friendly before, but we managed to merge everybody together safely.
I had to save that poor cat.
Yeah, he's an EMT part-time, but he used to be full-time, and he went to a call where this lady had, like, you could tell her goal was to help the cats, and she had a little outdoor cat shelter and was feeding all the strays, but she wasn't setting a live trap to take them in and get them spayed and neutered, so they just kept reproducing, and there was probably 40 cats outside her house.
It's bad.
Yeah, and so we decided, he decided to show up in the ambulance and hand me like a plastic tote, and he was just like, here you go, and walks off, and in it's this tiny 3-week-old baby kitten that was getting picked on and bullied and
just dirty and
yeah,
ear mites
this is why I said no those. So I got rid of the ear mites and I fed that kitten baby formula and just all Hobbit cats. That's so cute. I love it. I love that. But yeah, so essentially it was me that had to make sure the dogs didn't kill the cat, and it was me that had to try to litter box train her, which is still a struggle because she likes to use the sink or the bathtub.
She was gonna die if I didn't take her. She was being bullied. She was being picked on.
She was very skinny.
She was super bony, and I scrounged around and I talked to the lady, and she said, "Take all the cats that you want."
Yeah, and you're be glad you only brought one.
And she followed me around the house when I was inside of the lady's house. She followed and was walking between my legs and was meowing at me. And right outside the ambulance was this Tupperware container that was full of trash and water and all kinds of weird stuff. I just dumped it all out, threw the cat in there, threw it in the back of the ambulance, and drove home.
Yeah. But now she's my cat, and like she literally in the middle of the night will just climb on me and lay on my chest and sleep. And
almost a year. She's about 10 months now. Yep,
we got her at the very beginning of October, and she was about 3 weeks old at that point.
She was. So. I mean, she was.
So she'll probably be end of this month. She'll probably be a year. Actually,
so she's probably close to a year old now.
And she still looks like a kitten. She's the tiniest little cat.
Yeah, she's definitely a small breed of cat.
Yep, she looks like a little panther. But we've rescued all of ours. Suki was a preemie.
An accidental breed, though.
Yeah, yep. She was a preemie, like, runt of the litter, needed to be bottle fed too, and also her mom was a boxer breeding dog, and there was some kind of, at a breeding facility, there was some kind of mishap, and so she wasn't purebred, and they weren't going to keep the puppies. So that one is rescued, and then Jax was rescued. He's my Staffordshire Terrier, and then Tijibo was rescued. I think my daughter's stepmom bought her leopard gecko, so that one's a pet store purchase, and so were my ferrets. They were pet store purchase, but to me, buying them from the pet store was rescuing them.
We rescued the rats from a snake, technically.
Yeah, they were gonna be snake food, and now they're my babies.
Yep.
Which, I mean, I'm not against snakes eating. They need to eat too. My brother fed his snakes rats, and I understood it. These ones were so cute and so unique and so friendly.
Oh,
wow. I love Maine Coons. I had an orange one named Al.
Let's see if I can find her for you.
Wow. I want one of those big Norwegian cats too, the Norwegian forest cats. I think a lot of people go for the mini animals, but I tend to have a more of preference, I guess you'd say, towards larger breeds. Yes, I agree. They don't take good care of their animals there. I don't really like to support them that much, but the ferrets were just alone, and they, like, when I bought Bonnie, she was in there all by herself, and so we bought her, and we told the pet store as soon as they get another ferret in to let us know, and we would come in and get her a playmate. Well, I had a lion's head rabbit, and it had a little fluffy hair, and hi babies, here comes my doggies. I don't think you can see them, but no, Jax, don't knock everything over. This is Tijiba. We had her since she was just a little bitty 3-week-old kitten. That's Jax's snout you can see there in the
yeah, that's her now. She maybe next stream I'll have some slides and stuff set up. We can have some pictures of her, but she was literally sitting in the palm of my hand, and dirty and gross, and now she is all clean and shiny, and alright, go somewhere.
Yeah, I would rescue every animal if I could, but I know that I have limits, unfortunately, and I'm only one person. But my bunny was kind of sweet and kind of wild at the same time. It was a lion's head and had fluffy hair, and when I moved to Arizona, I had to get rid of him, so I've rehomed him. But Mike has had to stop multiple times on the side of the road so I can save animals.
She is. I stopped and rescued a big old huge turtle.
Yes, a desert tortoise.
Tortoise. I used to work at a prison in Arizona, and the prison's out in the middle of the desert. There's nothing but highway and road, and this guy was just cruising down the road out there, and
Jax and Sookie are the dog's names.
Yeah, Sookie from True Blood, and Jax from Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, this desert tortoise was massive, and he kept going on the road. I picked him up, moved him out, sat and watched him, and he walked right back out in the road, and I was worried he was going to get crushed.
It was a highway.
And so we picked him up and moved him, or I took him home for a while.
I do have a little Dollar Tree leash in my car, usually.
She's got a police baton in the back of her car, too, which is kind of funny.
That's from when we were moving, and I just haven't taken it out. It's just his old baton from work, But no, we were driving down a busy street in Kingman, Arizona off of Route 66, and I saw, like, my favorite breed, honestly, of dog, which was a little bulldog, and she was just this little fat bulldog, and I was like, we have to stop. You have to stop. And he didn't want to stop.
The dog was mean.
She was only mean to him. She was only mean to him. But I got him to stop, and I went over to her, and I could barely pick her up. She didn't look like she'd be that heavy, but she was really heavy. And I got her in the car, and yeah, I got the big old girl in the car, and she was so sweet to me. And every single time he would reach his hand towards her, she would just make that little like snorting bark and try to bite him. Yeah, I was like hanging out with her in the garage because my dogs are a little unpredictable around new dogs sometimes, so I just wasn't sure if she'd get hurt or not. And so I had her in my garage, and I had the fans on her, and I had, a whole blanket set up for her to lay on, and I was just laying in there petting her and loving on her, and he came out, and he thought he'd try again, and he reached down, and she bit him again, and it was just really funny. But
look at this madness. I'm covered in animal hair.
Oh, thank you. I saw I had a few new subscribers that didn't tell me who all of them were. I know one of them was Barbara, and I think Backlash Fisherman subscribed to me today, which was awesome.
Backlash was 2 days, and he's listed on our
2 days,
on our
okay.
feed over there.
Yep, 2 days ago. So yeah, just over the past couple of days, I've really got a lot, and it's been thanks to a lot of you guys just being really supportive and teaching me. And come here. Here's one of my kids. You got that down.
Oh, crusty.
That's my oldest, my teenage girl.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, I've would save so many different animals. We've rescued a few different desert tortoises, a few different dogs, some cats. Violet, the cardinal. We saved the cardinal and released him. Oh, and I rescued. Yep, I did try to save a baby bunny. It passed away. They're really hard to save.
Rich Cat, do you do a lot of boarding stuff? Robin was actually talking about if we had a bunch of property that she'd want to do some boarding. I love German Shepherds, but
I know.
There's so much hair. I can't even deal with these guys. Look at me. This was a clean shirt.
Yeah. Well, having animals isn't always neat, but it's a blessing. I would rather surround myself with animals than humans at most situations. Okay, yeah, I have been lately. That's been something that I want to say our Okie Homestead told me. She said join these live chats, and these are really supportive people, and Mike and Terry have been great. I've learned a lot. Actually, some people gave me tips on how to mix the 5 girls in. There was a lot of fighting at first.
No.
Oh, no.
I tried. Me and Robin both picked up a part-time job just working at a little amusement park. That, I guess it's an amusement park, but very small local amusement park out here. And a tiny little cottontail got hurt, and I took it into the EMS room because I was the medic for the amusement park. And I tried to do my doctoring and medic stuff on it, and I couldn't keep it. I couldn't keep it up.
But I did save one from a cat, and I left it where it was because I knew its mother was nearby. So I did get a baby bunny away from a cat, and I have since seen the baby bunny, and I know that it's okay, so that's nice. But we did rescue a cardinal, and then when I was in Sweetwater, Tennessee, I'm just kind of going to the Lost Sea Cave and having some fun, I saw a baby Inca dove that had, I don't know where it came from because there's no nest in any of the trees nearby, and it wasn't flying, and it was on the ground in the heat. So I brought that one home too and nursed it. But I taught it how to fly and let it fly off. That one stayed pretty wild. It was funny trying to feed this little tiny baby bird that can't fend for itself, but it's trying to attack me while I'm trying to feed it. But I got it strong enough, and I actually taught it to fly. It took about 3 or 4 tries, but we got her to fly, and she flew off. That was pretty nice. It's nice when you get to keep the animals wild, even though as much as I'd love to have like one of every animal.
Is it hard to board dogs and other animals with your current animals that you have? Is there
Hers are super well behaved.
Any issues that you have?
I'm just afraid
that you'd be concerned about? I'd be scared that my dogs would hurt somebody else's, or somebody else's would hurt my dogs.
I'm just worried about like territorialness, or like that's why I'd want a whole separate, place for mine.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty big fear of, I think my mom don't you board you boarded the cats and the dogs and stuff, didn't you, Mom? By the way, everybody, my mom's on the stream watching us here.
I've got 3 human children. Well, 4 if you count my stepson. I have a stepson and 3 that I birthed.
Skin kids, I like that.
I got Violet and Magdalene, but we call her Maggie, and then Caden. I used to call him KJ, but then he informed me at 8 years old that he doesn't like to be short named.
I think that's hilarious. Yeah. No short names.
I don't like to be short named, Mom. So I said, okay, fine.
And then there's me shortening my name to 1 letter.
Yep, well, 2.
Mostly 1 though. Most people just call me V now.
That's cool. No problems. Yeah, I think that'd be a big worry of mine.
Well, the thing is my dogs were always dog friendly until we went to the vet and someone's dog tried to attack my dogs, and after that it felt like my dogs never really trusted other dogs again, and I've just been afraid, honestly. Like, I don't want to put a situation to see if it would be okay. Like,
yeah. Yep. Okay, so you do.
Okay.
So you kind of smart. You vet the people that are actually going to come and
the dogs,
yeah. Stay. Yeah, I've watched it, and I know a lot of people that do boarding. My partner at work, he boards his 2 dogs. In fact, they're being boarded today because he's got to go to Atlanta for the week. And I've always been kind of curious on how that works. They just sit in a cement slab like a dog kennel kind of thing, or,
I have a hard time fostering pets because, like I said, the same reason I can't raise meat chickens and meat cows is because once they're around for a long time, like, that's it. They're part of my family. They're my babies, and I love them, and nobody's taking them from me. We have
let this one down.
We have another visitor, possibly one of the cutest. This is Magdalene, or Miss Maggie. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. Sit up there, buddy.
Pink.
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 Maggie, say I'm 3.
I'm 3.
Do you like chickens?
Oh, you guys get funny faces.
She loves chickens. She watched Robin's Chicken Channel almost around the clock.
Yeah, it's funny because this one, I have to lock my coop door. Like, I have like an actual house door on it that I have to lock because Maggie likes to sneak into the chicken coop. And one day she snuck out into the backyard without me knowing and locked herself into the chicken run and was crying. So we have to be very careful because she's also let my chickens out, taking it upon herself to just let the chickens free range.
Right? Look at we're only got about 5 minutes left of the live stream.
Yep, we got. Caden, would you like to say hi?
Say hi to everybody.
This is my boy, Caden. He starts school tomorrow.
Yeah.
My biggest one does too. All right, bye bye, buddy. Yeah, he just wanted to say hi on the live stream. It's okay.
On the live stream. Okay.
Yeah, you did. You can come back over if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, the next live stream I got set up, we're going to have, like I said, hopefully have some more cameras and some more topics and things to talk about. And definitely the camera set up so we'll be able to take a peek at our chickens as we talk about them.
Up to the barn. I read that as to the BAM. I need glasses.
I thought she did say to the band.
Maybe she did.
Oh, no, it's to the barn.
To the barn, okay.
It looks like an M.
I spell it with a K because my mom's name is Karen, and so Karen and then Caden, and my sister's Casey with a K. So I stuck it with a theme.
Okay, man.
Okay. Why don't you go get your brother? Go play with Bubba. She loves her big brother. That's like her favorite person in the entire world. Well, thanks everybody for coming out. And Aoki Homestead, thank you so much for introducing me to Mike and Terry, and to Boots and Bounty and Rich Cat and Mud and Mascara, all these great people that I've learned about. And oh yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I only got 3 viewers, so I think it'll be a while before I have that problem. But once people get me talking, I'm good. It's just more my nerves of sitting here thinking like, oh my gosh, nobody's gonna want to watch me. I'm gonna be sitting here by myself. So I start feeling, I psych myself out and get all. But that's why I think when the weather gets a little bit cooler, I think I'm gonna try to do one where I bring my chair out and just kind of maybe sit in the chicken run, and my chickens relax me and they're sweet and they like to hang out, and I think they'd like to be in my videos. They're the stars, really.
Our agenda will go out the window. Yeah, I can see that. I'm really looking forward to the community. That I like a lot of the people that she's been seeing and interacting with and talking. And
thank you, Rich Cat or Kathy.
It's been nice to have and a positive community.
Yes.
I spent my entire YouTube time on video game stuff, and there's a lot of negative involved with that. So.
I wanted to have a channel where any religion, any background, any age group could watch, and I didn't want them. Dang, Granny! No, I'm just kidding. But no, I definitely wanted a place where anyone could feel comfortable. I didn't want it to be an abrasive, offensive atmosphere. I wanted it to be a place where anyone... And another thing that's funny, too, before we get off here that I kind of wanted to point out was that we're doing a homesteading style channel, and Mike and I met in agriculture class in high school. So it's kind of funny that here we are with this YouTube channel
right
30 years later.
In 1998. 1998.
20 years, 22 years later.
Long bloody time.
But it does look like we're getting to the end of our hour, so I do want to thank you guys for the support and for talking to me so that I had, someone to interact with on here. Yeah, the community's been great, and I just really love, that's what I love about living in the country, honestly, versus living in the city, is just, I like being able to walk down the street, and if you make eye contact with your neighbor, you can smile and wave, and it's not weird. If I were to do that in Los Angeles, I'd probably get yelled at. Like, people would think I was a crazy person, or I really enjoy living in the South, where people still stop and offer help, and people are friendly and polite, and you respect your elders, and you look out for your neighbors. Like,
absolutely. Thank you for showing up here. It's
yes,
awesome.
Thank you so much. And I may actually still end up emailing you, Kathy, and just you offered to help a little bit, and I would love to hear some of your advice because I could use it. I'm definitely very new, so. Is it set?
I don't.
I'm not 100%.
No.
I know when we used to live stream for our video games, it automatically did. I don't know where I would see that. Will you move the thing? No, we're not going to be able to see if she responds. Oh, that's so sweet, Kathy. My email is actually my first and last name at Gmail. So it's actually robintelkamp@gmail.com. And here, I'll type it in here.
You're not typing.
Oh, I'm not typing.
I don't know if you should send it on that because
We would have 3 viewers.
yeah. Oh, you're holding something.
Well, because you made it.
Click no.
Well, don't distract me. I'm
Just
just
don't
gonna-
put a phone number as a replay. I'll email it to you.
There we go.
We play a lot of stuff. Minecraft is where it started. I've been playing Minecraft since it was in a testing phase, and it really kind of got me into playing more video games from there.
So
We play 7 Days to Die, The Forest, Scum, a lot of stuff.
I started playing some of the newer games with him, but I'm still a sucker for the old school games. I still play Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, GameCube, those kind of stuff. So it's like Super Mario, Tetris, Smash Brothers, Donkey Kong, Dr. Mario, lots of things like that. And then since being with him, I started playing a lot more survival games and zombie games and things like that. But it does look like it is actually past our hour, so we're gonna hop off here and go get these kids to bed for school.
I gotta go to work.
Thank you guys all so much for your support, and I will continue to show support for your channels and spread the word. If anyone watching isn't subscribed to Rich Cat Ranch or our Okie Homestead or Backlash Fisherman, please go and subscribe to them. They are great people that are helping me along the way. And I think we're going to try to make this a weekly thing.
I think so.
On Sundays, do 30 minutes or an hour, depending on the day and the week and how my children are doing. But good night,
Alrighty.
everyone, from What the Flock. Have a
Thanks
good
for
night.
coming out.
You be
Appreciate
blessed
it.
as well. Okay, we
Someone
got.
wants to say bye.
Okay.
Hold on.
Bye.
Say bye.
Bye. Blow
Bye.
kisses. Mwah.